All right, for today, I want to show you 3 databases fairly quickly. The plan would be then, after you see the databases, you're going to be able to go back and just start looking for potential sources that you could use for your preliminary bibliography. You're not overly reading or analyzing the sources, you're just looking for potential sources at this point. So yesterday we did the Gale opposing viewpoints, the yin-yang sign. Today where we're going to go is ProQuest, where it has SIRS here. So this ProQuest SIRS, it says SIRS Knowledge Researcher. That's the one that we're going to log on today. It might ask you for a username and password. At home, if it asks you for the username and password, it is on that password sheet that is attached to Google Classroom. The username is PL, so PL2591H. So PL2591H. First one's an L, second one's a number 1. Then the password in lower cases is that LUPSOAG, and then you should be able to log in. So username PL2591H, password LUPSOAG, and then you hit login, and it should take you to a page. That'll look like that. Okay. Anyone having problems getting into SIRS? Then are they watching YouTube videos? Okay. Yeah. So the username is PL2591H. And then the password is what's written up there in blue, the LUPSOAG. Did you hit import? And then when you go back there, it should refresh. It should be there. He has the annotation that has to get added. Which what? This one. ProQuest SIRS. Yep. Did you share his? That would be the only other thing. And then Trilby, when you do get their username and password, are on the board. The PL2591H.
That's for everybody?
Yep. All right. In SIRS, then, it's very much like what Opposing Viewpoints was. It's a database that holds a whole bunch of different articles and topics and things like that. So you have this top search area that you can do a subject search. They also have a place where they have some issues that are pre-selected. So you can hit the View All Issues, and there might be some things that start to pop up for you. Or you might want to do a keyword search. Now remember, the paper that you got back, your brainstorming, you put some search terms on there. I added some for you. Some subtopics would be things that you could look up. Yesterday, I think a lot of folks were typing in their general research topic, which is perfectly fine. Some things you might want to also start looking at, though, could be specific subtopics that you want to find. So if you were dealing with something with technology and one of your subtopics was going to be looking at like social media, technology and social media could end up being a search item that you want to use. So for this one, with me typing in technology and social media, Logan, I'll be over there right in a second then, it brings up some possible articles that I could take a look at. So do some search terms within ProQuest, within SIRS, and try to find an article that you think is going to be worthwhile for you, just like we were doing yesterday. Then I'll show you how the whole exportation of the citations and all that stuff goes. So in SIRS, just looking for an article or two that you think could be worthwhile. I'm going to walk around to make sure at least we're finding stuff where we know where we're at. I clicked on that, yes, it's the, you were helping us, so you probably missed it. It's the stuff in PL2591. Now, right here where Kevin's English classroom, because the same thing happened, that's where this thing came with those data pieces and So you don't have to memorize it, but you can still see what which database you're in. So DL259 when actually know you can. You're doing the DL25. No, you can go in a bunch of different ways because what's happening
Oh my God.
is gender issues. That's like as you scroll down, you might find some of that.
I'm sis.
Watch a video. Get like halfway done.
To come to the library.
But yeah, just because it pops up doesn't mean it's
Yeah.
My head.
what you're looking
Save it down.
What are we searching this for?
for. Did you
Do we have to open that up so we can like put the thing in the
noodle bit? Yes.
So
Did you guys already do that?
Yeah. So we just and you can do it in a separate window. We just opened up noodle bit and we're just sending the prompt.
Mr. Kane.
You okay?
And directing it through classrooms.
If you go through Google Classroom, there's a link to Noodle Tools that you could use, or you can type in noodletools.com.
Is it alright that I chose the topic of drug? She uses it. I wasn't sure if that was.
And you could do drug abuse, and then but like where you have other search terms like opioid crisis, prescription medication, those are all the things that you can put in.
Okay. So can we just read it? How do I do that? Oh yeah, let's do this one.
Cheyenne's over there getting that lollipop a good time.
That's all we're doing. So with technology, maybe something that you should
About a dollar shoe.
I like SIRS&Issues.
I think social media would probably be a good one to look at.
I don't like all of them. Some of the comments.
No way.
I had blue ones.
Huh?
And then I got purple ones.
So like our mobile devices are collectively.
But I do like my purple ones.
All right, now once you have an article, couple things, and some of you already started doing this. This doesn't mean the article is going to make it into your research paper, but it's one that you are interested in. First thing you would want to do, email it to yourself. So you would enter in your email address. It might already be saved in there from you having typed it in yesterday when you sent your address from Opposing Viewpoints, but send yourself the article. It just gives you a copy that you can access very easily, and then it gives you a confirmation that you have already received it. So where I'm going for to email the article, over on the left-hand side where it says use this article, it gives you those options, and that fourth one there is the email. And again, you would just want to send it to your Gmail, your school Gmail address. Pardon? Like, did it tell you there's a problem? Did you type it in correctly? McDonough T20 at students.
Yeah, I picked those. Mr. Kane, is it alright that I picked one that says APRB is hepatitis C?
Yeah, yeah.
How many of these do we have to pick out?
All right. If I don't, for me, it's sent without any issue. I don't know if it's possible that with folks all trying to do it at one time, it might be overloading it. Let me try. Isabel, I'm going to try yours again.
Send article. Oh yeah, the article is successfully written.
So you did get one that was successful? Okay. If you're getting an unsuccessful, I would say wait a little bit. It might be something to kind of go in stages. If it's still not working, then you could try sending it to a personal email address, and then from that personal email address, you could forward it back to your school email address. It might be something where so many people doing it at one time could be a little bit of an issue. Another option, and I haven't done this one before, but at the top, save to Google Drive. You could save it, and it'll probably ask you to sign in into your student account. Then you would be able to save it there. So if the email's not working, maybe saving to Google Drive would give you a way that you don't have to email it to yourself. What makes this one a little bit different from the opposing viewpoints? Opposing viewpoints, we exported our citation. Here it's not an export, it's going to be a copy and paste. So if in this use this article menu over there on the side, you go to the last one, which is cite, it's going to then show you two citation options. Remember, our citation that we're using is MLA, so we're just going with the first one. You don't even have to highlight it. They give you the little copy button at the side, so I'm just going to hit copy, okay? What I have to do now is I have to go back to Noodle Tools, which I already have open, and I'm going to then create a new citation. In Create New Citation, I'm going to the very first option up at the top, which is Database. Once I copied my citation, I'm going to Noodle Tools. I hit the green button, Create New Citation, and I clicked on Database. What I'm then going to do is in that light blue area, I'm going to hit Journal, and I'm just going to click on Journal. And it might take a little bit, but then you'll get a page that's going to load up to show you what it is that you're going to put in. Here's the part that's going to save yourself a lot of time. We're going to do a quick cite. So underneath where it says citing article, where it says quick cite, I'm going to hit copy and paste a citation. I click on that little link. It switches the page where now if you scroll down a little bit, it will say manually edit citation. And there I can paste in what I had from SIRS. So up at the top, it says quick cite.
No, I got that.
Okay.
I don't know where the citation is on this.
On SIRS, in that green menu area that's up at the top, there's the one that says cite. Luke, you see where we're at?
Is this the third one?
Yeah.
This would be the third one, yeah. So I'm hitting cite. Just make sure you copy the first one, MLA. So you just hit that green and it'll automatically highlight it, copy it, and then I go into Noodle Tools and I paste. All right. And then, now keep in mind, once you're done with this part, you're not going to hit save, but you have to hit save and add annotation because now I got to put in my source number. So assuming that you did your two sources yesterday, for this one, what you would do is type in source number 3 and then hit save and close. Now it should be updated. So when I go back to, when it takes you back to your sources, now you'll see 3 sources that are there, numbered 1, 2, and 3. Tommy? What were you trying to load? Like where?
Yeah.
Tools.
It froze when we put the save and add citation.
So you're able to get into Noodle Tools, okay? Just,
Yeah.
Of course, right now it's taking forever. We'll just keep this page open, like for your issues, and then we'll be able to copy and paste it out. I want to show you another quick research database. If I'm going back to library, and again, you might not necessarily use all of the databases. Another one that is pretty good, and then after this one, I'm going to let you just do your thing this period, so you can try to start getting as many sources as possible. Bottom row, I'm back at the library link. There is, you see the judge legal scales. It says Issues and Controversies. So FOF at the top. You see the blue icon with the scales, and it says Issues and Controversies. I'm going to go to that one. Issues and Controversies, it's similar to Opposing Viewpoints. It is similar to what you're looking at SIRS. It takes ideas and it gives you different possibilities to look at within them. So I'm just going to type in censorship, if I can spell it right. and it'll go into some different ideas with it. The nice thing about issues and controversies, you notice it gives you reasons for supporters argue or opponents argue. So it's kind of like a Wikipedia page where it gives you an overview. You're not going to cite the initial page that pops up, but you'll start taking a look at actual articles that you want to look at. So maybe you're looking at something to, some of you are looking at bias within the media. So should journalists always strive to be objective? That could be an article that I would want to take a look at. Again, it gives me an idea, but what you'll have for it is it will give you primary sources, editorials, news. So where I'm at right now isn't necessarily just what I want to cite, but it'll give me different ideas that I could take a look at, whether it be a primary source, whether it be a news article or an editorial. Issues and controversies, it takes a little bit longer to kind of find what it is you're looking for, but I think the news tends to be a little bit more recent with this one. So I'm going to take a look at an article about fake news. It's similar to the last one we did where you would then end up being able to do some copy and paste for your citation. It's a little bit clunkier when it comes to finding stuff. So look around, see if you can find an article. I'll show you then how to email it to yourself and then how to cite it. But it can at least get a little familiar with the layout for it. Is yours still? It is loaded. Okay. Remember, the magic number of sources you need, Tommy, I think you might have been asking, or George, is 11. 11 is what we need for the preliminary bibliography because it's Fahrenheit plus 10 more that you're finding. Yeah. Honestly, because it doesn't really, this one is a newspaper, but because we're copying and pasting it, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, you can just always backtrack. So can we use any database? Like the ones that those three would be the best to pull from. So the SIRS, yeah, SIRS. So that one that you're in, the issues and controversy, and then the opposing viewpoints. I personally like opposing viewpoints the best, but from topic to topic, it can kind of. I'm going to show you that because it's a little bit different with here. If you have questions about how to cite in issues and controversies, I'm going to show you that to you here in a few moments. Yeah, like you would be harmful. Yeah, absolutely. Adam, do you know where you're going?
Yeah.
What are you in? This one right here? Yeah, I'll show you here. I'm going to show everyone here. Yeah, you can people with the strings. Yeah.
Child abuse.
How do you cite those?
Drug dependence.
Separation.
You said something about
Well, for you, where you, yeah, so creating a citation. Did you copy it?
I don't need any republic.
Yes, you do. It's slap.
Oh.
I know. You're gonna get audio off every audio.
Right, so I did by accident.
So funny. I'm trying to help you guys. So fun.
Buddy.
Need to find barely. I'm not. No. Yeah.
I'm wondering if
I got you.
I have a question. You say body, you mean
Obviously not.
what do you mean?
I got you.
Using your body
I know.
to shield the ball.
Yeah, that's what Caleb's about.
Need that. That's a big.
Faster. He's not like that. That's because he's deep. Oh, God.
It is though. It's not good. I'm not hanging in.
All right, once you, Logan, I'll be over there. I want to show you how to cite an article then that would be in Issues and Controversies. Whereas before, listen up. Whereas before, you had like a menu on the left or the right-hand side of the page. For Issues and Controversies, where you go is this place here on the left that says Page Tools. So I'm going to Page Tools, has the little like setting icon and a down arrow. From there, you have the option to like save it, to share it. Sharing should work via email. Now I know we were having issues before, but I would suggest emailing it to yourself so that you can have a copy. If not, you could save it to a profile. But you'll see the fifth option down is citation, and it's going to be very similar to what we were doing before with the last one. Select format is MLA. I do have to highlight the citation, and then I do have to do a copy and paste. For you folks on the Acers, I think Control C would be the copy, but I'm going to copy it. I'm going back to Noodle Tools. I'm going to create a new citation. I'm going to do the same thing that I was doing before, where I am going to database, and then I'm going to go to journal. If you are copying and pasting the article, this is kind of like the shortcut way of doing it. You can just hit journal every single time, because since you're copying and pasting, it'll take care of the auto formatting for you. So same thing as what we did before. I'm going to go to that area where it says Quick Cite. I'm going to hit copy and paste a citation. The menu is going to change. I scroll down, do my manually edit citation, hit Control V, and then that will paste in my citation. Again, I can't hit save. I got to make sure I hit save and add annotation, and that is where then I would be typing in. At this point for me, it would be source number 4. All right, and then I save and close.
All journals.
You can, because we are exporting or copying and paste, you can put them all in as journals, yes. To answer your question, no, but the formatting of it is already done. That's why it's asking you, because a journal gets formatted different than a newspaper, but the formatting is already taken care of. The most common thing that people forget to do for their preliminary bibliography is to include the source numbers. So if you don't have source numbers, go in and add them. It doesn't matter if it was the first one or the second one. You don't need the numbers so far as the order, but you just want an easy way to identify the sources when you start doing your note cards. So we still got 10 minutes. Keep the laptops open. Look for some possible sources that you could put into your preliminary bibliography. If you want to go back to opposing viewpoints yesterday, you can. Take a look at SIRS, take a look at Issues and Controversies, but give yourself some time just trying to find some articles. You're not worried about like deep reading of them right now. You're simply trying to add up your total so that you can build it up to the 10 sources that we need. Yeah.
For when you do that one.
Yeah, just hit save and add annotation. You're fine. Yep. There, you'll put some stuff.
Like what? More than you.
I had this.
So you're opposing viewpoints.
Okay, this is the one, this is what I get to say that, but I don't. I didn't know this is the one.
You're like eat and then retract.
First thing, and then.
How am I supposed to do this? Yes, it's in my section.
So,
What is that?
export and then change that to.
You have another practice.
So opposing viewpoints, you get export. The other one, you have copy and paste. Change the project so it's not going in. It's not in.
One in the game. Yeah, because they won.
So then
How
you
many
go back to your
championships?
new tools. You go in.
Yeah, none.
It's not soccer.
Am I done? Do I?
How did other sports?
I had to tell
The
everybody
only
yesterday.
thing
Why is this pop?
is, I don't know, just because I feel like it's the only thing is you have to get options.
Why is it like this?
I ain't following on Snapchat.
That's the only kind of bummer.
Well, my mom's like, I knew this. She didn't graduate.
Like, nah.
You want to see the one clip I want?
Sure, George, let's see it.
I don't need the
Ultimately, you're gonna have like two, right now, kind of keep it at three, like that you're gonna research. Like right now, you know what, the one I didn't really get a whole lot for, and so that's why. So,
Like 17.
now you're not technically in an article.
You don't catch a case.
It's just kind of giving you viewpoints about stuff. So, I'm just gonna hit this just for the sake of it. Over here, like, so you go to site, and you just copy and paste it. Okay, so whereas before we were able to export it yesterday, that was a copy and paste. Yeah. Now keep in mind, if your databases have all been shared with me, so I can go back into Inbox and check to see your projects. So if I'm going, hey, on like Friday, Luke, why do you only have 2 sources? What are you talking about? Well, I can see where you're at right now. Now, once you hit 11 sources, that doesn't mean you're necessarily done. You can certainly have more than 11. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you books. You do have to have a book source beyond Fahrenheit 451. So if you're already at 11 sources, let's say by the end of today, that doesn't mean that you're done. That just means that you have more sources to pull from. Throughout the course of the research, you can certainly add more sources to your preliminary works cited page. It just gives you more options that you can end up pulling from. Tommy, is yours?
Yes.
Did you switch to Chrome? And that?
That's, but also, we're just on the website.
Go to database.
Everything here. Yeah. Grab on the work.
That's only feedback. You won't have any. So that's the
I didn't have to. I didn't surprise
$5 things.
No. We had Nike Elite one. That's the ones that have like orange Nike sign on them. But it's like the soft ones that actually wrap around your foot, not the ones that you just slide in.
7 years old.
Hey man, I like them.
Kick your neck.
You're not gonna kick me, man. No, because I'm afraid that, like, I hate using the ones that don't actually hold on to something. Because if you think about it, if it just slides in, slide tag or something, it can fall out.
Oh, it's like that. Oh, it's like that.
It's hot in the dirt.
Takes one to know what.
Ow.
I said that, alright?
There's so many houses. You still don't know where I live. Good point. Do I know you? Matt, one of these days, you're just going to be able to slide tackle your leg away.
What happened that you're not going to be able to do that because I was not loving you.
No. I'll check out.
I see you coming because you're gonna be huffing and puffing.
I don't want to be huffing and puffing. Yeah, you're probably right. I'm not gonna lie.
First day of practice.
Yeah, probably. Hey, man.
Well, you get the that you watch. You get like you want to get back.
Let me check it.
You get like 700 V-Bucks back after spending 2,000.
Well, I highlighted what he was done, like we were just doing, so I can see.
That's so
I don't know. I have yet to see that.
Ow.
Yesterday, you did a very good job plugging in laptops. Please just do it again.
He's like, I've met 4 friends in a year.
So, that's what I was going to tell you. Good. So tomorrow, we're going to look at the bookstores. You still need to have a bookstore. Because everyone's so, you end up having like 12 or 15 that's fine. I just didn't want you to not put in the bookstores thinking that you had to be 11, because I saw you already at like 9%. Jillian, did I give you?
Yeah, you did, thank you.
So, that way. You went that way. You know which way I'm talking.